Andy, this game, it just kind of went sideways right from the start, but there were a lot of shots that BG had and some of your other players that weren't bad shots. They just didn't go down, and then it just seemed like it completely got away from you in the second quarter and on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty accurate. We got our butts kicked tonight, which is disappointing. Like I said at the start, they were really, really aggressive, and the hedging went to another level, and we still got some open looks, and we missed them, and then I think we just lost momentum, and obviously they grew in a lot of confidence, and what they were doing was working, and it rattled us a little bit, to be quite honest, but we got to be better, So these are one when you're coaching, you're like, okay, we just flushed that one because we're a better team, but when what we showed, but full credit to Chicago, they prepared well, and obviously Copper, who we talked about, was a handful in that first half.
Sandy, front row to your right.
Alex Simon from the Next. Obviously, if you guys had Nurse, you feel like it may be a little different. But with the way Copper's playing right now, especially when you maybe want to give her open looks from three and she's making them, just how difficult is it to come up with anything to stop her at this point?
Yeah, and a lot of it was one-on-one. You have to rely on your team defense and that. And we allowed her to sweep it and go baseline way too much. And yeah, I mean, that's when she gets shooting it from outside, and you got to give up something, don't you? She was making it. She had a really good game, and obviously that took the life out of us a little bit. But look, we didn't execute well, and obviously they partly to blame for how they defended us. We just got to go back, watch film, and get ready for the next game. But we'll say this: I knew coming in about the officials. I mean, we knew that no fouls were going to be called on us. I mean, all the fouls on us, and they'll go into the free throw line, and they're going to hold their whistle. And I'm not a coach that stands up here and goes, yeah, the officials and blame. I mean, because, they just need to be a little bit more consistent. I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, they're hard hedging. Some of those running into, they're fouls, and that's contact, isn't it? If you're going to call it down the other end, you need to make sure you're being even. This is the finals. I don't think we should get into, let's protect the other team, because if you bitch about the officiating and your free throw attempts, but here we are.
Second row to your right.
Maggie Hendricks from Bally Sports. What did you say to them in the locker room? Was there even a conversation?
And yeah, sure. I just said, well, you got to flush that one. That's the conversation, because we're a way better team than what we showed tonight. And, obviously their crowd got into it and they did what they needed to do. Obviously this is their home court, but we've played well on home court. And we've been in this position before. We just got to regroup. We got to regroup, refocus, and be better. That's what it comes down to. And that's my job, making sure that we're going to be better, because, they took us out of the way too much, and, we didn't have enough scoring options when, BG was missing early. That kind of hurt us, obviously, because obviously we rely on our big three a lot for our scoring.
Sandy, second row to your left.
Hey, Sandy. Regarding the officiating, following up on that, how does the league fix this, and how long has this been a problem? I mean, there have been a lot of coaches who've spoken about this inconsistency that really has gone on the entire season. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's not, I'm just, usually I say nothing because I know it's hard. I know I'm not perfect, but it's just, I don't think they're always bad. And it's just more getting a little bit more consistency. I don't know. I mean, maybe, who knows, keeping refereeing in our league and refereeing more games and not doing college, two different rules. I think that helps. That's one of them. You need money for that too. So, I'm not someone to put blame on everyone else, to be quite honest. If I blame anyone, it'll be myself. That's just how I am. But yeah, officiating, and some are good, some days are good, some days are not so good. But it's more about just being consistently good or bad. I don't care.
Sandy, second row to your right.
Sandy, now that you have two must-win games ahead of you, how do you dial in on the next game without getting too ahead of yourselves?
Well, this is our season. This is what's on the line. And, we played in a few eliminations to get here, and then a Game 5 in Vegas. And we understand, what needs to be done. And I believe in this team. We weren't very good tonight, but, the other team made us like that, but we still weren't sharp and what we needed to do. And so we'll rise to the occasion. I mean, this is it's It's our knockout. We want to send it back to Phoenix. Let's take it to a game 5.
Our next question will come from Zoom, Mark Carlisle. Mark, if you would.
Sandy, you mentioned, trying to flush this one, put it in the past. You also said, going to look at the tape. What kind of lessons can be learned looking at the tape of this one where so few things went right for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just to see what didn't go right. Sometimes you just have to relive it to piss you off a little bit, to be quite honest. And that's all it will be. It's not, I don't think it's X's and O's now. It's just like the attitude that we're going to come out and play in the next game. And, just like I said, just overall, just being a little bit more better than what we were. And, this team has great chemistry. I know that they'll respond. But we got a big challenge ahead of us because, like I said, I have a lot of respect for Chicago, really good team. They're dangerous from so many positions on the floor. But so are we. So we just got to hang in there.
Sandy, to your left, toward the back.
Sure. Well, yeah. Hi. Taurasi and Diggins-Smith were 3 for 19, played 50 minutes. Is there anything about the arena that maybe affected them? The noise, the crowd, the baskets?
No, not at all. I think, credit to Chicago, really, their defense. We're used to playing. We've played well on the road. We're the team that's won the most games on an opponent's floor. We don't mind that atmosphere, but, the crowd was great tonight. So it's great. People of Chicago came out and supported this games, and fantastic. And that certainly gave them a lot more energy than it gave us. And we just had hard time scoring. And unfortunately, offense was, we weren't scoring on offense, and it affected our defense. And, we got to dig deeper on defense, and hopefully we can get some easy ones on offense. But, tough night at the office. Got another game, though.
Sandy, second row center.
Coach Chris Pennant, War Media. It looked like early on you were having success turning Chicago over, but could you talk about what they were doing against Brittany? It looked like they were playing more single coverage rather than doubling, and was she having a tougher time getting looks in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, we got her some good looks. I think we got her some good looks. She just missed them. They played in her space a little bit more. I think in the second half you saw her, she went to the right hook. That's a pretty nice little shot there too. So I think that's what once she realised that, and, they couldn't take away her space a little bit, and she still finished, 7 from 17, but she was about 1 from 8. When she's struggling, it's like, we're not getting, it was like, I think it's like 20 points in the paint to 2. That's hard when you can't just win from shooting outside. But she, like I said, BG, missed some. She made some in the second half, and she's still someone we need to get the ball to as much as possible.
Just a couple more questions, Sandy. To the right, standing.
Coach, you made a comment regarding the fans here at Wintrust. Packed house tonight. Obviously, the Sky does not want to go back to Phoenix. If it's a tight game going down the stretch on Sunday, how do you offset that regarding, in football they call it the 12th man, but here in Chicago, it's a basketball town. How do you prepare for the crowd aside from playing against the team itself?
Yeah, we just played a game 5 in Vegas with that 10,000 fans. So we've been in that situation before. And it really just comes, like I said, we have a veteran team too, led by Diana. It's just playing with a little bit more poise and execution when it matters, and that's the key thing. And making plays when it matters. And we didn't make too many of them tonight, but I know that we're capable of it.
Turning to Zoom, Danny Thompson. Danny, go ahead, please.
Coach Danny Thompson with the three-point conversion. When Copper is going at the way she's going and Candace Parker is playing at the top of the key, does it make you want to change your defensive principles? I know you've kept Breezy out there all season, guarding the best defender, but does it change when Copper is being aggressive and Parker standing at the top of the key, just playmaking from that part of the floor?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were all pretty dangerous tonight, but, Copper, she was just a handful. They were isolating whoever she was guarding. Like I said, we can't just rely on one-on-one coverage. We wanted to push her back to congestion. So we didn't really execute what we wanted to do there, but, Copper made a lot of great plays, and I thought Candace was really, really good too, just her aggressiveness on defense, but, ability to score as well. I mean, it was face to basket and, back to the basket. And we had, BG was on her at times too. So, this is a team that can spread you. That's always tough when they can spread you. And but like I said, we've beaten them once. We have to regroup, refocus, and get ready to beat them again. What day is it today? Don't even know. Friday, Sunday.
Annie Costable from the Sun-Times. James, what are you most impressed with from your team tonight? They, held Phoenix to the worst field goal percentage in a WNBA final game, but also everybody was involved offensively. So, what are you most impressed with?
Defensive activity was really good. I thought that we were very active and we were connected. You saw a lot of covering for each other, a lot of communication, and so I think it created easy opportunities for us. We were able to turn them over and score out of those turnovers, and I was pretty proud of that.
James, second row to your left.
Hey, Coach. What can you just say about this crowd tonight? I think this might have been the most packed we've seen Wintrust Arena since you became head coach here.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a sight to see. I appreciated the energy and, I really feel Chicago. I really feel it. And, the way they came out and they support, you can feel the passion that they have, and it just gives us more passion. And so hopefully we can see the same thing Sunday, and we can all celebrate together.
James, in the last row center.
James, Khalil is a player who was averaging 6 or 7 points only a few years ago. She's had a star turn in these playoffs. What have you seen from her in general after such a great performance tonight?
We have a great coaching staff, and they work with the players every day. And so it's a 50-50. You have players that work, but you have players like Ka that really put in the work, and you see it right away. And so the players have to be willing to put the time in. And the coaches, they're going to put time in. And so this is what you have, a product of this, when you have somebody as talented as she is with a motor and a skill set and the one thing that probably doesn't get talked about as much, her competitiveness. That's what it takes to get to the next level. And we used to see it every day, even when she wasn't playing as much. So it's no surprise to us because we know what we have in her. And this is just now she's letting the world know. And it's just who she is.
We have 3 more questions from the room, and then we'll turn to Zoom. Third row to your left, James.
Coach, in the middle of the second quarter there, you had that 10-0 run to sort of break things open. Just what did you see from your team during that stretch?
I saw our pace pick up. And when we're playing at that type of pace, we're really hard to guard. So, we just have to continue to play at that pace, continue to move the ball, and to continue to attack closeouts when we have an opportunity.
James, Cheryl Raystow from WBEZ Radio.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi. What does it mean in a game like this you were able to rest your starters at the end of the game when you have a closeout game on Sunday?
Yeah, it was important. I was going back and forth with my staff, and because the game is in less than 48 hours. And so this is a dream come true if you can get, the starters rest and knowing they'll have their legs, no excuses to not have their legs on Sunday. And so we were pretty happy about that. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, should I, go back to some point? But we all discussed that, if I had 4 timeouts, so if they go on a run or if we see that we're a little winded, we'll call a couple of timeouts. But our bench, I called one timeout to compose us a little bit, and then our bench kind of went to work and got back to the rhythm. Not only was it good for our starters, but for our bench to actually separate a little bit. And because these games are really, you don't want to have momentum going into Sunday. And so what our bench was able to do was really important because they didn't allow them to get momentum. And so I really appreciated that. Our bench was really important today.
James, to your left, second row.
Hey, James. Jackie Powell, Bleacher Report. So folks call Candace the quarterback of the defense. I'm curious if you can apply that extended metaphor to Ka and sort of, how important defensively she is for this team.
You want me to use football terms?
Yeah, completely extended metaphor. Why not?
Okay, she's quarterback of the defense. Wow, I never heard that's offense. Okay, so Ka's like the wide receiver of the defense, I guess. Yes, I have no idea. That kind of threw me for a loop. So yeah, she's the wide receiver of our defense, but an elite one, like what's the guy? Sorry, I'm not naming a Bears player, but maybe like Hopkins or something, I guess. Yeah, she's like that.
Second row to your right, James.
Hi, James. Maggie Hendricks, Valley Sports. Yes, I do have cookies.
Yeah.
My question, though, is how do you keep them? What were you talking about in the locker room to keep them from getting too high or to whatever going into a clinching game?
I just talk about, I point out what we did successfully as a unit. I talk about individual performances, and I know they're a prideful team. They have, 3 trophies, and I know they're going to come out and punch. But we're going to punch too. So I just told them we have to be aggressive. And we've had the same, saying for the entire playoffs, and we're going to stay with that. We know what game 4 means for us, but, for us, it's about winning the game and winning it in a fashion where we're aggressive, and we have to play as desperate and connected as they will, or even more.
All right, I'm sorry. James, front row to your left.
Hey, Coach Wake, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You're a game away from winning a WNBA, possibly winning a WNBA championship. One of the few black coaches that are in that position. Have you thought about that? And if so, what does that mean to you just to be in the position to continue to carry on that legacy?
I think, I think about it, and like I do, this is something we can't escape. And so we live in the skin, and we have to represent because the world's a little bit unfair to us in the way we're represented and the way we're looked at and the chances that we don't get. And so you always have to protect yourself at all times. You get proud of these moments, but sometimes I have to act like that I'm supposed to be here, even though life has told me that I'm not. And so it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot that my son is here and he gets to see his daddy coaching in front of a lot of fans just cheering, and he gets to see success. So maybe in 15 years, it won't be a big deal for him. So I'm glad you asked that question. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we're going to turn to Zoom, and we'd like to get questions in from a few folks who haven't had an opportunity yet. We're going to begin with Cheryl, and you're going to be followed by Allison. Cheryl, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. My question is related to a little bit about what you've just said about what does it mean to have your family here all the way from France during this crucial stretch. And your son's wearing a Courtney Vandersloot jersey. Is that his favorite player?
Well, I mean, he likes all of them. He has a couple of jerseys. It depends on the weather. You can ask him today, it'll be Courtney Vandersloot. Tomorrow, it'll be Ka. And he has a special place in his heart for Candace, though, and that's a forever constant. And so Candace is the one that he's known since he was a baby, and so he's really close to her. I think if more often than not, it'll probably be Candace than anyone.
Next question will come from Allison. Allison, you will be followed by Edwin. Edwin, you will have the last question before we move to players. Allison, go ahead.
Hi, James. Allison Marin from the Next at the 9. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The differential between the two teams, how surprising was it to you that you won by so many? And what is the impact of that going to be for Game 4?
I don't focus on what we won by. It's just how we played. So that's, I don't think the scores really indicate a lot of things. Sometimes you can lose some close games and you play great. So for us, it's about the how. And we know we have to stay focused and to focus and concentrate. I want them to feel good about tonight's win, but after tonight, we have to really hone in on the next game. Like, we have to hone in on the next game. It gives us collective confidence, I'm sure, so you can't get around that. But we really have to come and take care of business. So tomorrow we'll get back in the gym and we'll figure out some things that we didn't do great. And we'll try to figure out how they're going to attack us. And we'll clean it up, and hopefully we'll come out and give a great effort on Sunday.
Our last question will come from Edwin. Edwin, go ahead.
Coach Wade, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
The team was dominant. Obviously, the score reflects that, and the individual stats reflect that. 44% from three, won the rebounding battle, and only had, to me, the most impressive stat, 13 turnovers, which usually is very high for this guy. When you're looking at what the team needs to do to win on Sunday, what's the number one aspect you think will help them win?
I mean, you pointed out some key facts. I think we only had maybe 4 turnovers in the second half, and so that helped us out a lot. The fact that we were able to take care of the ball and continue to be aggressive and had spacing. We had good spacing on the floor, which helped that out. I think that's something we have to continue to build on. Not sending them to the free throw line, us winning the free throw battle today helped us, and our aggressiveness toward the basket helped us as well. So I just think we have to stay there as far as not fouling them and then taking care of the ball. If we can get to a point where we're taking around the same amount of shots, because we're not turning over the ball, then I think it helps us.